Alright. So we can actually play the damn game today, huh? Holy crud. This has been an interesting day. Now, I do want to mention something really quick. You'll notice that there is already a gameplay negative just sitting there, just staring at me. And that's for the online co-op. I just wanted to say this. As always, it's my policy to explain the negatives in my scoring system, or positives in my scoring system. This is a game that was marketed and built on the benefit of co-op, is tremendously more fun to play co-op, that is coming out on the PS4, the Vita, and the PC that does not offer online co-op support. That is so many levels of ludicrous that I'm not even sure what to say about that. So yeah, that's a very definitive negative, and the game should be thankful. I'm only giving it one negative for that, because it kind of deserves more. But I'll let it go with only one negative. Now, I've actually kind of glanced at this game a little bit already. As should be obvious, I suppose. Hello, run. And are you going to play? Hello? There you go. There we are. It says it's Hiroki Kikuta, but then again, that's not necessarily indicative. Anyways, so yeah, here we are. The game that we're doing. Now, I do want to mention one thing very quickly here. The game actually does have an option to have the old soundtrack or the new soundtrack. God damn it, piss off. Not you guys. And we'll be using the new soundtrack because, of course we are. We need to see how good or bad it is. So, darkness sweeps the Troubles land as Mana's power fades. In desperate times, the people look to a hero! His name is Bob, to wield the Sword of Legend. Excalibur Kusanagi? I don't know what that is. The blade has had many names, but all refer to just one weapon. The Flamingos! I mean, the Sword of Mana! Which was actually the last game. Hi, Anthony. And hi, Myron. And Max Time and Velger. This is loud. Is that just me? How's the audio volume? I mean, I know this is one of the louder songs in the game, but damn, I feel like I'm shouting. Ah, hi, guys. Can you hear me? Jesus. There we go. God damn, that's loud. I turned it down to 20. I just did, Max Time. I'm not going to repeat it. Lack of online co-op. There's the summary. Let's just turn everything down a little bit. So as I mentioned, here's the option to change the sound. There's controls. So I want personal ring, allies ring, attack. No. No. I don't know. What? Someone tell me what of these buttons is what on an Xbox controller. What is A on an Xbox controller relative to either a SNES controller or a PlayStation controller? Help me out here, guys. Okay, and so this is A. So yes, this should be that. All right, now what's X? God, that confuses me. Why does every controller have to have an X and they're all in the different spots? Like on the SNES, X is top. On the PlayStation, X is bottom. And I don't know what the X is. X is left, apparently, on Xbox. So yeah, all three controllers have a different X. So that should be Allies ring and then personal ring there. Okay. I'm going to set my item limit to 12. This is actually kind of weird that they have this. I've heard about this. it's an option to change, because in the default game, you have 4 as the item cap. So we'll leave it at 4. I don't need it higher than that. I might turn that up later. I don't know. Don't care about that. Don't care about that. There are no game commands, apparently. Yeah, let's turn it back up a little bit. We'll turn it up to there. We'll see how it sounds. Okay. English, please. Randy? Randy? Really? No. Boy! We're going old school. God damn it. God damn it. No, Mugen. Screw you and your goddamn Japanese. No.
Long ago, the world prospered and humanity thrived thanks to a power known as mana.
Mana.
However, humans soon sought to use mana to create the ultimate weapon, a floating battleship called the Mana Fortress. This greedy arrogance angered the gods,
Who don't exist.
who in turn unleashed vicious beasts into the world. A violent war between the mana beasts and the fortress engulfed the world in poison and fire until mana had all but disappeared. In humanity's bleakest hour, a hero wielding the mana sword appeared and destroyed the fortress. The world was left in shambles, and yet humanity persevered, and there was peace throughout the land. But as time passes, so history repeats.
Oh, I like the river analogy. I wasn't kidding, by the way. There's no gods in this setting, like at all, unless you count the Mana Goddess, which isn't actually an individual. No, that was not original. We're on the remake stuff.
Hey! Guys! Wait! Up!
Okay, that's terrible voice acting.
Whoa! Shh! Be quiet, stupid. If the Elder finds us here, we're done for.
Yeah. We're not supposed to be here. Everyone in the village knows about the ghost.
You really believe that old fib? The grown-ups just say there's a ghost to scare us away. But I did hear Grandma say she saw something shiny by the falls when she was little.
Maybe it's treasure. Let's go find it.
Help! I'm gonna fall!
Oh, wow, he actually reaches for him in this version. In the SNES version, they just kind of look at him as he falls. And he's dead.
Oh, whoa! Ouch. Oh, there's no way back up. Now what am I gonna do?
Oh. I can't use the D-pad. Alright, whatever. Yeah, the minimap, I gotta admit, that amuses me. I already knew about that, though.
Listen.
What?
Huh?
Yeah, that's what I said. Yeah, but... I'm one of those weirdos who prefers the D-pad over the analog for movement. I think it's just something about this wears out my thumb after a while, whereas the D-pad does not. Damn, I can't get through this impenetrable barrier!
The village is this way, but I'll never get through here without a weapon.
Must push through utterly indestructible barrier of blades of grass. Nah, I can't do it. Alright, Dad. God, stop pressuring me. I don't want to be the hero.
Who are you? And what's a sword doing here?
Whatever, I need a sword.
Too bright. What's with this light? Oh, a ghost!
Listen. I entrust the sword to you.
Oh god, they're doing the WoW method of voice acting. I'll talk about that in a second.
What do you mean? Ugh, what's up with this sword?
It's kind of rusted.
The light's fading already. Oh, I have to get back to the village.
Loading. Why are there load times? You know what, I'm just gonna let that go. Ah. Oh, Jesus. Oh, God. Ah, okay. You're right, it's only working on an SSD, Rox. Okay. I need to explain why this is messing me up. So I rebound the keys. I always do this. So that A, to use the SNES equivalent, is this, and B is dash, which actually doesn't seem to be working. Wait, hang on. This is dash now? It just slowly drains? Actually, I kind of like that. Anyway, so that's dash. And then this is my menu, and then this, the button that isn't doing anything is their menu. Basically, the complete reverse of how some default does it. Here's the thing. That means I'm trying to hit this button to confirm. But you'll notice that it's canceling, not confirming. That's because the moment I hit the menu, it reverts to the default controls. So now I have to hit this to confirm and this to deny. Even though outside of the menu, it's the exact opposite. That's really, really disorienting. So, okay, let's see what we got here. Usual stats. Wait, what? Oh yeah, I heard about this. There's no memory for the menu, so watch this. I'm gonna go left to status, 2 lefts. Now I'm gonna go left to status, 2 lefts, 2 lefts, 2 lefts. You see the problem here? See the problem yet? No memory. And we've had menu memory since the SNES era. In fact, this very game had menu memory. I never remember if FF5 on the SNES had menu memory, but I know FF6 did. I also know this game did. This game came out in 1993. Negative for lack of menu memory. I'm sorry, there's no arguing that one for me. Menu memory is such an incredibly basic feature that has been around since the early 90s. Lack of cursor memory. Alright, so. Yeah, what's this? Oh, that's our log. Okay, whatever. Oh, now the D-pad works. Here. Actually, the D-pad's better for the menu. I'll debate the button thing in a bit. Is that it? Is that all I have access to right now? I guess it is. Wait, what? Oh, that's our current status effects. Ghost for dead, frost, blaze, poison, confuse, balloon, niggle, tangle, pygmy, petrify. Yep, that's right. Oh yeah, let's check out the action grid real quick. Which is that one. I don't know what I think about that. It looks like I'll have access to more attack strategies later, but right now, allies can attack my target, or can specifically not target my target, and I can set their gauge depending on what I've unlocked. We'll have to see that when we get someone. Zaluk, I believe, requested that I go ahead and do the method where I get the sprite before the
I can cut
girl.
my way through with this.
So I suppose we'll go ahead and do that, even though I was going to do the other method. Oh god, it literally does say action grid, even though it's completely not. Yeah, I'll go ahead and chest it. So what do we got here? How's the audio volume, by the way? Now that we've adjusted it a bit. Because this is about what normal music will sound like. And I don't know how loud the voices are either, so you gotta help me with this. So yeah, here's my control options. As you can see. There is a mini-map off option. If you prefer. I'm gonna turn it back on. Whoops. There we go. Of course, we gotta walk around in the Moogle suit. I mean, duh! Yeah, so there's cosmetics in this game. I already knew that. In fact, there were hints that they were going to be introducing DLC cosmetics later on. Don't want that. So this is kind of weird, because it kind of looks like on the keyboard, if you're looking at this, I can set movement and then menu movement separately from each other. You noticing this? But not on the controller that I'm playing this on. In fact, it looks like, for example, I could set back, which is the problem I'm having, separate from dash. That is really weird. There's even mouse controls. Apparently you can play this game with the friggin' mouse. Hang on. Oh, I see what I'm going to have to do. No? This is all just mouse here. But I can't seem to move with just the mouse. I don't actually understand why that would be relevant, Mugen, but the game does think I have an Xbox controller, if that's what you're asking. Otherwise, it wouldn't be saying the way it is, so... Okay, it looks like you literally can't use the mouse to control solely. You can just use the mouse and keyboard, or you can just use the keyboard. I still don't understand what game... Oh, no, that's just that.
Whoa! What's a rabbi doing in a place like this?
Hopping around cutely? Oh, here's the song. So, Gary and I have actually already heard this song. Oh wait, no, this isn't it, sorry. My bad, my bad. Although, it's using the same instruments, which is what made me think about it. I really want to know what's up with this instrument choice. I should test some more in-depth things here. It looks like they got rid of enemy iframes. Like... Yeah, not the accordion. I don't know what the hell it's called. What is the name of that object? That musical instrument that's being used. Yeah, it does, doesn't it, Dakota? I'm actually kind of okay with this. As I mentioned yesterday, Psalm's hurt boxes and hitboxes are incredibly broken. Like, you can get used to them, and Lord knows Gary and I have over the years, but they are broken. They're wrong. And they actually seem correct here. I'm deciding what I think of the removal of iframes. I'll have to test with a faster weapon and other enemies, like the bee. I'll try it on the bee when it comes to iframes, because they have a huge number of iframes. But yeah, the hurt boxes and hit boxes both seem much more consistent, at least on the rat bites. It does look like we're still limited to 3 enemies on the screen at the time.
Did you see that? Something lit up the sky near the falls a moment ago. I have a bad feeling about this.
It'll be fine.
The Elder was looking for you. What did you do this time?
I don't think I will give a negative to voice acting, whether it's good or bad, or excuse me, not voice acting, to the music. I don't think I'll give a negative to the music, even though I don't really care for the new music that much so far. And I'll explain why really quickly. If I do this correctly. Because I can just do this. In fact, I'm tempted to give the game a positive for this. For the option to just say... In fact, if you remember, this is one of my complaints I had about Romancing Saga 2. It was just the original soundtrack. God, this is so much better. I'm sorry. But we are going to stick with the remake. I want to hear the music as far as we go through this game. Yeah, the voice acting isn't bad. I want to stress that. I don't think the voice acting is bad. In fact, if anything, I'm a little bit impressed that random NPCs are voice acted. Like, you know the trend of modern games, even nowadays, to have most, like major cutscenes voice acted and then nothing else. So the fact that even random Joe Bob wandering around town has voice acting, I'm actually kind of impressed by that. I really am. I'm not going to give it a plus or a negative just yet, but I'm very leaning towards giving that a plus.
Hey, stop playing with that sword before you hurt someone. I'll tell the Elder on you.
They also have more than 5 voice actors, which is always nice. And so far I've actually only heard one line of bad voice acting. It was literally the first line of the game. I'm gonna give the positive for options for remade or old music. That is a plus. Might give a negative for the lack of proper
for the Elder, don't dawdle.
Key binding setup, but it does deserve the plus for the music thing.
Welcome. What'll it be?
And even the shopkeeps are voiced. Oh.
Anything else? Come again.
Yeah, dancing shopkeeps were a pretty regular thing in the original. It became a running gag in the series after this. So, they even gave them a new dance, if you're paying attention.
There's an unfamiliar face in here. He looks kind of scary. I don't know.
He does look kind of scary. He looks so scary, I gotta adjust the options. Whoops. To turn the voice volume up a little bit. Try that again.
There's an unfamiliar face in here.
There we go.
He looks kind of scary. I don't know.
There were more options for keyboard. That's why I'm debating that negative. But the fact that I have more options for a keyboard than I do for a controller is weird, because it's not that hard to do the same thing for a controller, you know?
I think that guy is a knight. What's he doing in a little village like ours?
Oh.
Oh, it's you. Elliot just stopped by, but he didn't look too good. What happened?
Right, I told you I'd talk about the WoW voice acting. This is what I mean. The written dialogue is, oh, it's you, asterisk, or excuse me, percentage sign N. Elliot just stopped by, but he didn't look too good. So the person actually reading the dialogue says, oh, it's you, and then either completely skips over the name or puts like a generic title. I'm sure a lot of you who've played WoW ever since voice acting became regular in WoW for quests, pretty much from Pandaria on, really, knows what I'm talking about. They'll say, you know, oh, it's you, champion, or oh, it's you, hero, or they just won't say your name at all. Oh, it's you, like he just did. That's what I meant by the WoW voice acting. They just... So this is... I've actually talked about this, and we mentioned this during FF10. This is another method by which you can allow the player to rename the characters while still have voice acting. Just never say their names. So, that's the third method of dealing with that. Hey, Gemma, or Gemma. I'm curious how they're going to pronounce it. But we'll find that out in a minute. I want to leave the village. I'm out.
Help! Monsters have surrounded the village! We'd better stay inside until we know what's going on out there.
Okay. It only bothers me a little bit. Oh yeah, we saw it in STO as well when we were going through STO. They don't say Admiral or Captain or whatever. They just say, hello, period. Instead of, hello, Admiral, you know. And yeah, I noticed, I already pointed that out, Rox, I'm sure you've missed it, but, so, minimap is here, wireless vibration is here, and item limit is here. I'm gonna keep it on 4 for the moment, to see how it stacks up to classic song. Cutscene!
You're all right. Elliot just told me what happened.
I thought you were a goner.
Okay, so we do need to advance the text. I was kind of curious. Because it looks like during the cinematic cutscenes, we just let it play. But for here, we still have to hit A. Which also means...
That's why...
You?
Yep, okay. So we can skip through dialogue if we
What's
want
that
to.
you have there? Oh no. It couldn't be.
Oh yeah, we can also set voice actor volume to 0 if we wanted to.
Cool! Did you find the treasure?
Way to go!
What have you done? That's the Mana Sword.
Mana Sword.
There's no way you could have pulled it free.
I'm always going to call it Mana. I try very hard to adjust my pronunciations to fit the fictions and the whatever. I do that. I've been making a severe effort for several years to do that. But I am never going to call it Mana.
Mana sword? But legend says the village will be destroyed if it's removed.
I never thought it'd come to this. The Mana Sword is said to protect the village from disaster. But now...
Aha! So you're the reason all those monsters are attacking us. You yanked out the sword and doomed the whole village. It's your fault, you outsider.
So this isn't the best voice acting, but I want to give them credit for actually inflecting and putting proper pace and tone into their words. You know, it's not like, this is incredibly Shakespearean voice acting or whatever. But, you know, he did actually bother to say things like, you yanked out the sword and doomed the whole village! Right, you know, you can kind of hear I'm putting into my voice, too, the tempo and the emphasis where it needs to be. So at the very least, it does sound like they had a decent voice director for this game. At least so far.
Hey, stop! Shut up! It's all your fault. Leave me alone! Ugh, an earthquake!
And I will try out the Japanese just for you guys. I'll do it at Pandora. Remind me. I'll do it at Pandora.
Ah!
And then we died.
Help! I'm a monster! You have a sword, why don't you use it?
Can you hear me? Calm down and study the enemy's
Is that Lee?
movements to look for an opening.
Is that Lee? Playing Gemma? Or Gemma? Oh, jeez.
Takes more than that.
Well, I can still do the getting up attack, as I just demonstrated. Oh, you son of a...
Takes more than that.
Okay, magic is still a stun lock
Listen to
death.
my advice. Clear your mind. Wait for your power to return to 100%. Then be sure your aim is true.
Okay, wow. This fight actually feels worse because he's just chain casting magic. I could be just some RNG though. Let's go ahead and see if we can bug him. After he hits me with some magic. And then some more magic. Yellow?
Takes more than that.
You did well. Wait there. I'll pull you up.
Stay back! I didn't do nothing.
You seem to be in possession of the real Mana Sword. This is troubling.
Why is that?
Legend says the sword can only be retrieved by a knight when the world is in peril. But you are far too young for such a responsibility. Something must be wrong with the Mana Sword.
Here, you take it.
No, I cannot. The sword has lost its power and must be restored. Only the one who pulled it free can do that.
Then, what should I do?
Visit Sage Luca in the Water Palace. The sage has protected these lands for over 200 years. You would do well to listen to her advice.
Hey! The Elder wants you to come to his house.
I'll be off. I have duties to attend. My name is Gemma, and I'll be waiting for you at the Water Palace.
It is Gemma. So... I don't know if it deserves a negative, but it definitely deserves a partial negative. Like, this might be one of those build up to a full negative situations. Because, their mouths don't move. And it didn't bother me at first, but it's already starting to get to me a little bit. And if I could explain why really quick, how many of you have played FF4 on the DS or the PC, or have watched me play it? Because in that game, their 3D models during the cutscenes go when they're talking. That's a game that came out 11 years ago on the DS. This is one of those no excuse situations.
Elder, we can't ignore this.
We're at our wits' end. Who knows when another monster will appear?
Oh, it's you. You've really done it this time. That sword has protected us for years.
I don't mind the models, actually. They have a decent number of moving parts. Watch the woman with green hair, for example. You can see that several parts of her hair is moving separately, and her wrists are moving separately, and you can actually see some of her fingers are moving separately. It might be too small for you to see, but I don't mind the models overall. Actually, I kind of like them, but it's just weird.
Once you removed it, the monster started attacking the village.
It's settled. We can't let him stay in the village anymore. He'll just bring more monsters.
Could someone look up when Kingdom Hearts 1 came out? Because Kingdom Hearts 1 did two things, one of which bothered me like crazy, and one of which was fine. You know what I'm talking about. One of which is, you know, fully animated. And the one which was, which just bugged the crap out of me. But anyways, when did Kingdom Hearts 1 come out?
Go!
Get out of here!
God, 2002.
Yeah, leave here now!
There you go. 2002. Lip flaps. And fully animated models.
I don't want to do this, but I have no choice. I banish you from this village. There's a treasure chest downstairs. Take the contents and be on your way.
Like I said, it's one of those no excuse situations. I mean, if we've had the technology since 2002 to have lip flaps, why is a game that came out yesterday not have them? Ooh, I like it. It's huge. And I love that.
It's the Atlanta skyline.
Yeah, I figured. Awesome. I will
So
have
the
to sign.
guests will sign the...
Oh, you just signed this. It's not open. Okay.
No, it's a canvas.
Do I get to sign it?
Are you going to be a guest at the wedding?
I don't know, guys. Am I going to go to the wedding I'm attending?
A wedding that you're a member of the wedding party in?
That's what I
Did you
meant
talk to your
instead of
mom?
attending. Yeah, I did.
Okay. Did you guys get something sorted out?
I guess. She said she would look into it, was the last I heard. And then she went to bed.
Okay. Well, she had expressed interest in to have more time with you staying in a hotel.
Are you going
Well,
somewhere?
that is pretty insane.
See you later.
I don't know why anyone would want to spend more time with me, but I will.
When was the last time you saw your mom?
I think you know when.
Okay, because she said it had been, how she phrased it is, it has been years since I've seen him. And I'm like,
Yeah, I think we're approaching the 2-year mark.
yeah, but still.
I took you in as a child, but there's nothing more I can do for you. Forgive me. You wouldn't remember. You were just a baby. But I was there when your mother first came to this village. After she disappeared, I did my best to raise you. But today is the day we must part ways. I hope that you find your mother again someday. Goodbye.
I'm only selling you stuff because the Elder said I had to. When you're done, get out of here. Welcome. What'll it be? Anything else? You have to equip the armor before it'll have any effect. Got it? Now scram.
One thing I'll give this game, this is something I'll probably give a negative to the original, you'll notice it actually shows the massive change to evasion on the stats. If you remember, the only thing it said in the original was +2 defense and nothing else. So at least we have some decent tooltips this time. It looks like it'll show resistances to status effects as well there.
Do you have everything you need? By order of the Elder, you have been banished from Podos village. Now be gone!
Yeah, by the way, in case I didn't showcase that properly, guys. Whoops! As I get hit by a rabbit. Hang on, let me kill this guy real quick. Die! Okay. So if you enter a menu, and this wasn't true in the original, I can just hit R to go through the menu like this, which is actually pretty nice. So yeah, I'm kind of thinking I might go ahead and give a plus to the overall the menu design, because there are some quality of life changes here. But I might also give a negative for the weird decisions, as we've already mentioned, like the inability to properly map the controller. So I might just give this one a wash at this point. I don't know. I'll think about it. Do you think we should use cannon travel, or should we travel? What do you think? She says we should cannon travel. What do you guys think? I also have to say, I do like the new method of dashing a bit. But then again, the old method of dashing wasn't really dashing. It was something that you could use only if you knew the game very well and basically were trying to bug the game. Do both? Oh yeah, how do I save? I don't think there's any save states. Which is debatably a negative. I mean, you know, modern game. Although, damn it. The lack of memory in this is just terrible. But I already gave a negative just for lack of memory. There's no excuse for that. I don't see anything that says save. So yeah, we're probably going to have to go to the end to save. So that's crap. No, I'm sorry. This is a game on the PC made in 2018. The fact that we don't have saves or quick saves is... Alright, here's what we're going to do. Since I can't save, we'll do this. We'll do this. Looks like enemies do respawn the moment you leave, too, just like in the original. Oh yeah, we need to test autosave, because FF4 PC added autosave, if you guys remember. Oh, God, I actually didn't realize I was an enemy. I'm an idiot. Oh, it's just a flower. Like, oh, hey, it's a pretty flower. Ugh! Ow! As we can see, the mushroom people still have hearts. Yeah, it looks like they just have no iframes at all. That might make this game easier, depending. Well, there's 3 enemies. Oh. I also have a theory. Okay, so we walked. Looks like enemies... Yeah, it looks like enemies aren't respawning. So this is different. In Psalm, enemies will respawn not just if you zone, but if you basically go off camera. It's the Ninja Gaiden form of respawning. You'll notice none of these enemies are here. I don't know if I like that or not. I think I do. I think I overall like that. Because it always kind of bugs me in a game when you wander off and then you accidentally go just a little bit too far and oh, here's 3 more enemies. This also means the slime issue might be easier later. So let's see what Cannon Travel's like.
We, the Cannon Travel Brothers, are building a global network.
I like his voice.
Going to the Water Palace? Gemma's already left. It only takes 1 blast to get there by cannon, and Gemma's paid your way. Hop in. That's the spirit. Just pop yourself into the barrel.
You amuse me. Here, come here real quick. You want to see Cannon Travel in action? Because I'm curious how they're going to do it. Oh, come on. That's it? Ah, come on. So in the original, what it did is it transitioned to the world map, which is that. It would transition to the world map, and it would show the world map going... And when you actually land.
That is less impressive.
Yeah, I'm actually discouraged by that. Come on. Really, guys?
Do you get to pick where you go?
Yeah. It's a flight path, but really, So let's see what voice they picked for Dialog. He's one of the major characters of the story, so this has to be a good voice.
Pandora has sent us to fight Eline, the witch who lives in the haunted forest.
It's not too bad.
That's our leader, Major Dialog. He's young, but no one doubts his skill.
I'm tempted to give the game a plus for voice acting just because of the fact that they've bothered
He knows
to
how
have multiple
dangerous
voice
this mission
actors.
is,
And it's
but
been pretty
I've
decent
never
quality.
seen the Major waver.
What are you looking at? There's nothing to look at.
Major Dialog, sir. All set.
Understood. Stay focused, men. Let's move out.
And then I was trying to figure out if those pretty flowers were.
Hang on, let's find out. See what I can do. Nope, we're safe.
Did the other pretty flowers look like that?
No. The other pretty flowers looked like that.
Yeah. That looks very clearly like an enemy.
Well, okay, in my defense, yeah, I'm trying to place Dialog's voice actor. In my defense, this is how I open chest, I don't know about you. It was like this really narrow pass. It was this really narrow pass, and it was like right in the middle, so it's just like another thing I need to slice through, and then he suddenly's like, rah! I wasn't ready for it. Of course, Sawan! I've decided to quit one of my largest lore runs ever just because I hate you, and I'm working on my sarcasm. How am I doing? See, I actually, earlier in the run, people were asking me questions.
There you are. Let's go.
That I was being sarcastic to. And apparently they didn't recognize I was being sarcastic.
Yeah.
So I'm working on it.
That happens.
Anyways, yes, we're never playing Elder Scrolls ever again. Ever, ever, ever. I kind of like this song. This might be the first song of the remake I actually like. Oh, cool! We're actually levitating up here now. Instead of just being in the abyss. There'll be a boss fight here later. Looking forward to that. Let's see what happens if I do this. Oh, nothing.
You have to step on the correct one.
Yep. Oh, hang on. I wanna hear what her voice is.
Where's Luca? I guess I'll ask that girl over there. Hey, where do I find Luca?
Mind your manners. It's nice to see you again, Sage Luca.
You're very welcome.
I know that voice actress.
Wait, you mean this little girl is 200 years old?
Yeah, haven't you ever played anime? Or watched anime? I mean, in their defense, this was 1993 when this came out.
Oh, so you're the one who found the mana sword. Fascinating.
Luca, monsters have started invading villages. This young boy just fought one himself.
You underestimate my intelligence. World news flows into this palace with the water's own currents. Mana grows ever weaker. That could explain how this child was able to take the sword from its place of rest. His actions caused the balance of mana in this area to shift. Beasts are now rampaging across the land again.
Why for?
It doesn't sound like a child.
Well, it isn't. It's someone in her 20s, I'm pretty sure.
Evil in the world is working to seal away the power of the mana sword forever.
Well, that's intended. So.
By defeating monsters and obtaining their orbs, you can reforge and restore the sword's mana power. It looks like your sword regained some power from vanquishing the mantis ant. There are more hidden orbs with the mana power to revive the sword. You must find them.
I was once one of Sage Luca's pupils. I studied how mana sustains our entire world, and how it's been slowly fading away.
Gemma,
Looks
I
like
want
it,
you
Aika.
to keep an eye on the Empire. It seeks the Mana Fortress's power.
Fortress? Like the one that destroys the world in that fairy tale?
This is no fairy tale. We're talking about the real Mana Fortress, and the Empire that wants its power.
The Vandolian Empire. I wonder if they're actually going to call it that in this version.
The Empire will try to break the seals on the mana seeds in each palace. I've already caught some Empire spies snooping around my own palace.
There are strange reports coming in from Pandora. Could the Empire be involved?
I do not know. Gemma, you should request an audience with the king and tell him to be wary of the Empire.
Understood. I'll leave now. Head for the cave in Gaia's navel. There's a dwarf blacksmith that lives in the area.
I don't know who she is, but that's...
Dwarves are known for their weapon-making skills. You should see if they can reforge the sword.
And that's going to make everything okay. And I'm going to sound like I'm just some, I don't know, high?
I love your hair right now.
I just got up.
I know.
Yeah, I was very confused. I was awake when you came upstairs, and I'm just like...
What is that weirdness? Anyway.
As the sword becomes more powerful, your skills will improve, and you'll learn more abilities.
Starting the laundry?
Did you not hear barking? I mean,
I heard the dog.
that's what got me to go up, because there's someone at the door. He barks differently when there's someone at the door.
I didn't realize that they were going to ring the doorbell and knock.
He needed a signature. I made a squiggly.
What?
He needed a signature, and I didn't know what to sign it, so I just did this. He didn't care.
Yeah, no, that was just a package received signature.
Yeah.
I didn't realize they were sending a signature received. I got an email after I heard you come upstairs.
Hey, it's been delivered.
No, that said, hey, your package is being delivered sometime today before 8 p.m. and it may require a signature.
Nice.
But that still doesn't explain why you came upstairs.
To do that, I just told you.
But you came upstairs.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, you did. I heard you walk all the way up the stairs to do it.
Oh, yes, I did, to get that. No, that on my desk. Yes, I need to make a card. I was actually looking for some of her cardboard, like the colored cardboard, but I couldn't find any that she hasn't used. So if you know where some is, that'd be awesome. Well, if I could have one sheet of it, that would be awesome, please. I don't care. Something not white. Thank you. Orange, red, blue, purple. Oh, yellow.
What frightens you so?
The sword.
Eons ago, the ancients used their war machine, the Mana Fortress, in a final battle against the gods. It's not a fairy tale like you were told as a child. As the battle raged and the world reached its end, a hero came with the sword and saved us all. The few who remained rebuilt the world, hoping to protect Mana from those who would abuse it. You wield the legendary Mana Sword, but its power has faded. Now it's hardly better than a normal weapon. It used the last of its power to choose a new master.
Me. Why me?
But why did it pick me?
I don't have that answer, but you drew the sword, and now it's your responsibility to restore its power.
Okay.
So where do I fit in?
You must become a hero who is worthy of the sword.
Yogi.
Come, hold the sword up to the seed on the altar.
God, she has a lot of hair. She's secretly Lunarian, guys. It's a shame this is a story from 1993, or there could be some hella subversions going on here.
What happened?
The seed and the sword have now synchronized with each other. Now, no matter where you are in the world, this mana seed can grant power to your mana sword. You found one of the 8 palaces. Now you must visit the others and obtain the powers of their seeds. I worry about you out in the world with only a rusted sword. Take this spear I imbued with holy water. Use it along with the mana sword, and it too will regain its true power. I'll heal you. Would you like to save the game?
Yes, because... looks like I do have some kind of autosave, maybe? I don't know.
First, Take Gemma's advice and head to Gaia's Navel. There you can find the underground palace. To reach Gaia's Navel, head south through the Kingdom of Pandora.
I've got to be the only person who is actually liking the voice acting in this game. I'm not going to give it a plus or a negative yet. I've only heard, like, what, 20 voices so far, but... I just realized I need to test something. I can sprint on staircases, guys. Some of you will understand why this is a big deal. Gary, if you're there, I can sprint on staircases.
Yeah.
I guess I'm one of those weird people who likes voice acting in my games. I mentioned this during Oblivion as well. Someone asked, would Oblivion be better with no voice acting? And my answer was pretty definitively no. Let's see what Neko looks like. Or Nico, as I used to call him.
Welcome to Neko's. Do you need anything?
Oh my gosh. What do you got?
Oh, you're interested. What'll it be? Perfectly priced items available. Anything else? Be seeing you.
I'm okay with that. I'm okay with the way they do Neko there. And yeah, he's still overcharging. I mean, I figured he would be.
Ha! Ha!
I wonder.
Oh no! A goblin!
Come on. I know the song that should play here. That looks awfully molten.
Ow!
You, do not move. Stay still.
I feel like I'm spoiled in reverse because I've heard really bad voice acting in my life. And so I generally tend to be more tolerant of voice acting than some people I know. I mean, I've played Dissidia 1, guys.
Very lucky human. You will be main dish tonight.
No! Let me go!
Delicious human. Very lucky. Dancing has begun. I join in.
Okay, this song is way worse than the original. You remember the original, which had a really strong, heavy drum beat? Listen to this. Guitar's okay, but listen to the drum beat. Oh, we finally see Girl. Excuse me, Prim.
Hey, you there.
Okay, this is
What
a
are you
complete
doing,
remix at this
idiot?
point.
Please help me.
Shh, quiet. Come on, let's get out of here.
Sadly, I couldn't adjust the music.
I owe you my life.
Whoa!
What are you
They
doing
have,
here?
oh shoot, what are these called? Vignettes, like from the Tales of series.
I'm looking for someone. I saw you being taken away and thought for a second you might be him.
Bravely Default does this too.
I got the wrong guy, though. What a waste of time.
Hey, wait a minute!
Just kidding. Look, I'm in a hurry. Go back to your village, kid.
I like vignettes in games, by the way.
Hey, wait! I didn't even get to ask her name.
Yeah, it's true. Radiant Historia did that. Sweet. You'll have to tell me how it is, Gary, because I'm not playing it. Okay, I think it's time to toss out some positives and negatives. I'm giving a negative for weird and arguably bad options in the settings menu. Notably, more keyboard than controller options. I'm also giving a gameplay positive for otherwise good quality of life features in menus. Because I think both... I've kind of been deciding that over the last bit. I think both of those qualify. I haven't decided if I'm giving any for voice acting yet. I'll get back to that. I'm leaning towards giving this game a positive for voice acting, and if nothing else, here's why. First of all, we can change the voice acting to Japanese if we want, and we could just plain turn the voice acting off. The mere fact that that's an option, that's good to me. I like that. That's pretty much perfect. Allow me to have voice acting, or allow me to not have voice acting in English, or have voice acting in Japanese. And like I said earlier, they went the full mile. They went the whole way and actually made it so that everyone has voice acting. And that deserves credits. Most games won't even bother to that, even modern games. So I'm pretty sure I'm going to give a positive for that, if nothing else. Even if I don't give the voice acting itself a positive. And I will, like I said, I will try out Japanese voice acting when I get to Pandora. You know what? I think I will, actually. God damn it. Frickin' Mushboom. Get up.
Takes more than that.
Does it? Kinda sucking right now, boy. Oh, speaking of which. Right. Yeah, no, we're gonna go to Pandora. Okay, so... So we're at the choice point where we have to decide how we're gonna go through things. It basically boils down to, we could do the werewolf battle, or we could see more cutscenes. Which do you think we should do? I'll let you guys decide. What do you think? Because that is the choice. Werewolf battle or more cutscenes. If we do more cutscenes, we'll also have the girl for the underground area. If we do the werewolves, we'll basically go straight to the sprite right now. And we'll get the girl when we go later to Elena's forest. Any thoughts, guys? People who know this game? I know you want it, Zello, but I do want to get more input from Moses to you. One way or another, we're going this way for the moment. Okay, thanks, Roxy. Maybe I should make it... Well, I can't make it strong. I mean, we're deciding basically now. It is literally the next thing we're doing. Gary, what do you think? I know you're there. Girl first or werewolves? I don't know, Mugen. In fact, that is probably the biggest thing for me that will make or break this game. If they add back in cut content, that will be awesome. I have actually already noticed that there are a few lines that have additional dialogue that weren't there in the original, because I know the script of this game pretty much by heart. So, we're already potentially leaning in the re-added content thing. We'll see.
This is the Kingdom of Pandora. I was told to let you pass when you arrived.
Thanks, boy.
Sir Gemma's whereabouts? He has come from Tasnica to meet with our king. I believe he's in the castle now. Oh, just a warning, I wouldn't try to talk to the people in town if I were you.
I don't know what I think of this version of this song. A lot of these songs feel a little bit more like remixes, which I'm actually okay with, believe it or not. And of course, it's always going to be down to the individual song whether I like it better or worse, So yeah, hang on. So let's talk to a couple people who actually have lines. We have to go to the castle. Right. It's okay. We can sprint. We can also steer while sprinting. Check it out. I'm very likely to give the game a plus for the music thing, honestly.
Dialek and his men haven't returned from the witch's castle yet.
I don't want to throw away my life. I've had enough of this dangerous country. I'm moving back home.
The townsfolk and most of the soldiers are acting like lifeless dolls, and no one knows why.
I was supposed to be assigned to Diluc's troop. But I'm no fool. I faked a cold so they wouldn't send me with them. Don't tell anyone.
So there's English. Pretty good, actually. That's some good stuff there.
魔女の城に向かったディラックの討伐隊が戻ってこない。もしや。
I'm just gonna say quiet because I can't understand like Japanese voices, so this is up to you guys.
俺も命が惜しいからな。このままこの国にいたんじゃ危ないから田舎に帰るよ。
Although that sounds like the same voice actor.
町の人々も我々兵士もほとんどの者が皆抜け殻のようになってしまった。
Still sounds like the same guy.
俺も本当は討伐隊に任命されたんだ。
That sounds like a different guy.
死にたくないからこうして病気のふりをしてるんだ。誰にも言うなよ。
So yeah, there you go. I did Japanese just for you. Back to English. So it sounded like these three were the same voice actor, and then this guy was a different guy. Whereas these two were the same in English, and then this was a certain person, and that was a certain person. So I'm not gonna give any pluses or minuses for that. I'm just notating as we go. Still good. Still sounded like good voice acting. I think I'm officially gonna do it. I think I'm gonna officially give a positive for the voice acting. Voice acting, reasonably good quality. Japanese or English, and changeable on the fly, and can just turn it off. I mean, I think for those reasons alone, that deserves a plus. That's pretty much the perfect voice acting scenario. Original Japanese, original English, and you could just toggle it off.
This is Pandora Castle.
Oh, you know what? I'm actually going to give you a third reason here. Everyone is voiced. That's actually a fourth reason. Everyone is voiced. So for those of you who are into Japanese, there you go. Good Japanese voice acting. Apparently, I'm trying to think. I wish I could save state, because that would make a lot of things I want to test easier.
The Empire attacked us once about 15 years ago.
Why are there people near the entrance to the southern ruins wearing strange masks?
They're part of a death cult, don't mind them. They redid the layout of the castle. A little bit. That's strange.
When's Diluc coming back? He promised he'd play with me.
Did you know there's an enormous tree called a mana tree? That's what they tell me.
Oh yeah, I've heard of the mana tree. By the way, for those of you not aware, I use the same Google Doc for all of my pluses and negatives. I'm just collating all of my Premiere runs on this one document, going back as far as Middle-earth Shuttle of War, which was the first time I started actually writing down each positive and negative. So for those of you who would like to see this, I freely share it for anybody who wants to look at it. And yes, I did give a plus for the music. No story positives yet. Right, okay, so hang on, real quick. Anybody who cares, type in chat, let's say girl for getting the girl first, or werewolf for getting the girl later, okay? Do me that favor real quick, and I'll just tally them up really quick. Because I basically have to turn around or keep going depending on this right here, so we got girl, werewolf, werewolf, girl, girl, werewolf, girl. See, I keep track of this. I'm actually digging the visual style so far. I could see an FF4 DS remake done like this, and I think I would like that. And I mean that legit. A little more polished, maybe. Werewolf, girl, girl. Uh-oh. +5 usually doesn't happen for my polls. Okay, so we're up to +6 over here. Really wish I could save state. I wonder. I mean, this is my job, right? Right, right. I can be dashing. Yeah, it kind of does, Rox. I'll agree. Is it this one? I never save here. Here it is.
You staying? Help yourself to a bed.
I do like their dances.
Hang on. That'll be 10 GP.
Oh, yeah, sure. Oh, whoops, that's... God damn it.
You staying? Help yourself to... Hang on. That'll be...
God damn it!
You staying? Hang on.
Oh, this is terrible. I should never have followed Elliot and Timothy. Who accidentally pulls out the mana sword anyway? Now the Elder's Wrath is the least of my worries. How am I gonna survive in exile? When did my life become such a tragedy?
You will be fine.
Ah!
Luca?
Oh, hey, we can see her close
voice
up
coming
here.
from?
She really has long hair. Holy crap, look at that.
You should know better. I'm always there with you.
Okay, that's terrifying.
Are you protecting me?
No, silly. I'm judging you.
Yes, I will protect the one the Mana Sword has chosen. Know that you have people on your side during your journey.
Chosen? So, does that make me a hero? Like the legends?
Not yet.
We shall see.
Hero has a nice ring to it. Well, a hero can't be seen with some rusty old blade like this one. I'll head to Dwarf Village first thing tomorrow.
If it makes you happy, I'm glad you have a purpose now.
Lighten up, Luca. Things will work out. After all, I've got you watching my back.
You don't disappoint.
Boy. I'm extremely likely to give that a positive. Seeing those little inn things. You know, I'm just going to try to stay at an inn like at every story point now, just to see what they say. That's not quite as good as the inside thoughts thing of FF4DS, but it's the same direction, it's the same concept. And hey, Theogor. No, that's brand new content, Mugen. So... Getting the girl first will be faster, but that's also gonna be probably my canon answer. So let's go ahead and not do that first. I'm not gonna give it a plus now because I've only seen one of those, but I am very, very likely to give that a plus. So we're just gonna kind of run through things. Yeah, there's the bees. I'll test them later. This is a weird sounding remix. Yep. You can still push enemies. I don't know if you can push NPCs. Remind me to try and push an NPC when I get to the very next town, which is literally right next to me. Yep, can still push NPCs. It's also less of an issue because of the new format. Thanks, Mugen. Thanks for reminding me of the thing I just did. You were too slow! You failed me, Mugen! Nope. Watch my charge bar at the bottom of the screen. I know it's kind of small, but watch it. This is me holding dash. Still holding dash. There we go, and there it wearing out. That is something I'm very likely going to give a positive for. That's a good change. Anybody who's played this game can understand that. Oh yeah, okay, so this is a bee. You cannot hit bees with a full charge after you've knocked them down. So that's definitive. Their iframes are just gone. I wanted to test this on the bees because they have absolutely huge iframes. Oh, yeah, you're right. Let's try that. So you still slow down while charging. Charge speed is about the same. And damage is about the same variance. So We'll have to level up some weapons later, try out the various things, see if they're still cool or awesome. See if they've done any balance passing to the weapons, because some of the charge attacks for some of the weapons are completely useless. Cough, cough, bow, cough, cough. Of course, the bow was crap in general. What level am I? Which one of these do I need? That one, I think? Ah, damn it. I level up in 1 experience, guys. Level 4 should be good for this. Oh yeah, I also want to point out one other thing, although I'm not 100% sure about it. There we go. But you'll notice the edges on terrain are just smoother. Like, again, this is one of those things that people who's played this game will know what I'm talking about. But the fact that I can just kind of roll off of things rather than basically getting stuck against the geometry, if you could put it into such terms, is a noticeable difference while moving around. We'll see what it's like with a companion. Aw, the bats are still cute. They're so cute. Now slimes! Slimes are not cute. God, guys? I'm liking this so far. And every reviewer, every single review site, every single other person has been speaking negatively of this game. And I'm not. I'm pretty positively inclined towards this right now. Like, I mean, that wouldn't exactly be the first time that I've disagreed with reviewers. That's a very common thing for me. But it's gonna weird me out here, you know? No, see, nostalgia usually works the other way, Darkrai. Like, I can't help but notice that several of the little things they've done to improve this are things I haven't noticed any reviewer comment on. So, for example, the biggest complaint I've heard about the reviewers is that the game feels less precise. Now, I'm going to go ahead and completely disagree with them on that and say that the game feels a lot more precise. I feel like I have a lot more control over what I'm hitting on why, and the hitboxes and hurtboxes are noticeably better. Speaking as someone who knows this game extremely well. And as I pointed out literally yesterday, you have to literally accommodate for the bad hitboxes and hurtboxes in this game. But I don't have to do that right now. The removal of the iframes is, in my opinion, a good thing. It means that there's a less just pausing in combat. I pointed out the bee thing earlier. Let me just visually demonstrate what fighting a bee is like in the main game, if you're just by yourself and you don't have magic, so you fight. And the bee gets up. Whoops. And then you hit the wrong button. Then you attack. Bee gets up. And the bee gets up. And that's what fighting the bee... Removing the iframes makes the combat flow much smoother. Now, it is probably going to make this game easier, like I said, because it means I can basically stun lock enemies now, whereas you literally couldn't before, unless you knew what you were doing or had a party. Like, with multiple people, you can stagger the attacks much easier to completely stun lock enemies. I also have no idea, and in fact, I'm not even sure if I will ever know, if I can break the 999 damage barrier like you can in the original in this game. I'm not sure how I'm going to track that. I only knew about that thanks to certain reverse engineering problems, so... We'll have to see when we get there. We'll see what they've done to magic. We haven't even gotten magic, nor will we for like 3 dungeons, so... We got plenty to judge. And by the way, I will go ahead and put those 5 towards Octopath Traveler. In fact, I will notate that right now. Just to make sure I don't forget. Thank you, Shadow Machine. Where's Octopath? Octopath. There it is. So 5 from Shadow Machine. There we go. So, the ability, you know, the somewhat convenience options in the menu, that's good stuff. I do agree. So, okay, like, I was still answering the question, what do people most commonly talk about? So, the most commonly talked about is the lack of precision, the bad music, and the terrible art style. That's what almost every review site has commented on when it comes to talking about this game. In fact, as Gary pointed out to me earlier, the Kotaku review is literally called How the Remake Made a Great Game Terrible. That's nostalgia, by the way, right there. I mean, I'm sorry. It's changed and now it sucks. That's pretty much the definition of stereotypical nostalgia right there. Now again, I haven't given a plus or a minus for the graphics style yet. We're really at the beginning of the game. But so far I am liking it. It's still reasonably distinct, and it's recognizable to people who've played the game before. Like, I don't feel like I can't tell where I'm going, or that the graphics are actively bad, or anything like that. I will also add, while I'm on the topic here, that I've only seen one significant graphical change right now, and that's in the water temple. But I liked that. You remember, instead of there just being bottomless pits, kind of like you're looking at right now, it made it so that there was actually, like, you were up on a pedestal and there was water pouring down there. And I like that. Yeah, these guys really suck, by the way. It does look like we're still adhering to the 3 enemies at once thing, because they don't replicate until I kill one. Damn it, damn it, damn it, damn it, damn it! These enemies are horrible in the original game. All of the slimes are horrible in the original game. These ones merely poison you. Later ones will stun you, or dot you, or do all sorts of other horrible things to you. And yeah, the mouths thing, that is definitely a, come on. Really? Hang on. And yeah, Psalm was always a little bit of a Dragon Quest-y game. I kind of pointed that out as we were going through the SNES version the other day. Okay, that's what I thought. Like, I use the term whimsical to describe this game, but it's always just looked just a little bit cartoony-y, you know what I mean? That has always been the style of this game. I mean, our first boss is going to be a plant with, like, a bulb head, which shoots bouncing, exploding pumpkins, for God's sakes. Jesus Christ, Shadow Machine. I don't have that much gold across my entire account, although I guess I could buy gold if I really wanted to. The only reason I would be to get the Warframe. Anybody else out there tempted to get the Warframe? I don't know, for me the word whimsy fits pretty well. Wacky would be more like silly, whereas this feels more whimsical. But then again, we may just be having definition issues. Alright, here we go. This is the song I've already heard, and it's terrible in the remix. This is... I'm not looking forward to this. I have liked several of the remixes though so far in the soundtrack. This one. Actually, this isn't it. My bad. Never mind. This isn't it. I'm wrong.
I can hear rumbling from somewhere even deeper underground than we are. Sounds like someone digging.
This is Dwarf Village. Ah, oh my. You from the surface? You know a young sprite child got washed down here a while ago. Now they work as a sideshow act.
Thanks, Lee. Yeah, I'm sorry, this is actually not the song I was talking about. My bad. I don't know what I think of this so far.
Looking for the underground palace? Why? It's been lost and buried for ages.
Lately, we've been getting lots of small quakes. See? There's another one. Give me a break.
Let's save really quick. I want to test if the triggers for this still work like they do in the SNES version. And I want to see if there's a
One night
cutscene.
is 15 GP.
They still call them GP. Wow. Looks like no cutscene this time. So that's interesting. It looks like cutscenes don't repeat. I actually kind of like that. Because it means it would be irritating if it was true. It's, oh, it's the same cutscene. You know, mash, mash, you know. So we'll save here. I just realized I'm an idiot. Oh, and I can, of course, dash here. How much gold do I have right now? Alright, let's do this first. No, I haven't tested autosave, although I'm actually going to deliberately die on this boss to see what happens.
Step right up. That's it. This is Dwarf Village's world-famous sideshow exhibit.
One of the reviews, I forget which one, I think it was the Polygon one, mentioned one of the best features of this game was co-op. So I sat down with my fiancée to play it, and then she looked at me and said, "This is boring," after a bit. And I agreed, it was boring. It's almost a word-for-word repeat of that review.
Entry is 50 GP.
You okay?
Let's start the show!
Let's see the Rabbite Man.
Our first oddity is the one and only Rabbite Man. It's both a man and a rabbite. Rabbite Man! What? A hoax? I can't put anything past you, huh?
Okay, that is a completely different line, that one right there.
And now, I present to you a bona fide sprite child. This kid is the real deal.
Oh, woe is me and this sad life I live. Please, kind travelers, won't you help?
Come closer and listen to their story. You'll cry. You'll weep. You might even shed a few tears.
Also a new line.
This poor child has a 50,000 GP debt to pay off before they can go free. They're working here to pay it back little by little.
A debt with whom? You?
If you have any
me.
heart at all, please help. Even a small contribution of 100 GP would be appreciated.
Okay, once again, I want to give credit to the voice director, because you'll notice he said that last line kind of insidiously. Which he didn't have to. He could have just been reading it flat. And of course, this is a hoax. A con.
I'll take that, thank you! What? There's nothing more to see here. Leave!
And that's a new line, too. So yeah, this is obvious, but I like that they're trying. I know that sounds like a weird thing to say. There's no subtlety here. This is Secret of Mana. It's a game... Like I said, this is a story that came out in 1993. This was back before a lot of these things were cliches. So there's not going to be a lot of subtlety here. But I do like that they are embracing that and bothering to put those kind of emotional cadences and tones into the
How'd
presentation.
you like my acting back there? That guy was on the verge of tears, I could tell.
I kind of like the sprite's voice actress. I'm not sure yet. I'll have to think about that more. I do like Prim so far.
Don't forget my storytelling. I got them hook, line, and sinker. Oh, we'll make a fortune off this scam.
Hang on just a second. I'm gonna turn out the background a little bit more.
How long have you been standing there?
Please forgive us. This child really is a young sprite. That wasn't a lie. They lived in Sprite Village, but they were washed down into the caves with the floodwaters.
So I don't want to get into politics. Really, please, please don't get into politics. But I just want to point this out because this is a definitive change. The sprite in the original Japanese version was male. And then they called him male pretty distinctly throughout the course of the English version. But then in other languages they translated the sprite as either male or female, and it varied. The choice they have gone with here is to refer to the sprite as they. Now I point this out because otherwise this sentence takes on completely different meaning. They lived in Sprite Village, might be inferred as a plural, that there's multiple sprites that wash down, because that's how that reads to me without knowing, you know. But they were washed down into the caves with the floodwaters. That sounds like multiple sprites were washed down, but no, they're just using gender-neutral terminology to refer to the sprite.
So I was just helping them to earn money, to get home. Besides, this scam was their idea in the first place.
Pretty good con, huh?
Hey, apologize.
Fine. I shouldn't have. Happy now?
I am ashamed to have taken part of this ruse. Here's your money back. I apologize.
I didn't mean anything by it.
Probably doesn't help that the sprite has a female voice actress here. Oh, actually, you know what? Hang on. Still a female voice actress, but not bad. I'm gonna talk to... I'm here for you guys. Talk to some dwarves.
最近小さな地震が多いよ。ほれまた。おっかねえべ。
Okay, I can't understand accents in Japanese, so you're gonna have to tell me if these guys have any kind of accent to them.
指定神殿なもなおめえ、随分と昔から埋まっちまったまんまだ。ありゃりゃ、あんた地上からやってきたんだか？この前も妖精の子供が地上から流されてきたみたいだべ。
Like, I literally can't tell. I'm terrible and stupid. I'm an ignorant American. What do you want from me? Old man anime. That makes sense. I can see that. Before we talk to Watts... Ah, crap. I'm on the wrong weapon again. Ah! There we go.
Welcome. What'll it be?
Okay. So it does look like... I was actually hoping for this. It looks like they still don't give you any tooltips in the shop, which is unfortunate. This is something that goes back to about FF6 for the earliest known thing that I can think of for that. It still shows who can equip what, but that's it. And I should have enough. Yes.
Anything else? Come again.
It's actually funny. I still plan to do the in-depth classic series. I actually imagine when I get to a game like Psalm, it'll actually get a lot of negatives because it does make a lot of mistakes and do a lot of things bad. At least it shows us here. It's something. And yeah, it doesn't show the strength thing like you mentioned earlier, so not super surprising, but still unpleasant. Whatever. That should make this fight a lot easier, because I'm only level 4 and I don't have the girl with me. We'll see exactly how precise this really is on this fight.
Say, hand me your sword. Ah, it's covered in rust. It'll break in no time if you leave it like this.
I kind of like Watts so far.
I am Watts, the blacksmith. I'll reforge that for 100 GP. All right. Now wait 1 second.
Yeah, they did, thank you.
It's done! I've never seen a sword as fine as this one. What a waste that it got rusted over. Just looking at it takes my breath away. I hope someday I can forge such a splendid sword myself. What? What's this? My hammer is glowing. Wait, don't tell me that's the Mana Sword of Legend.
No, it's actually the Mana Sword of Legend, sorry.
This is phenomenal. I think the Mana Sword has imbued my hammer with some of its power. I'll try it out and forge a new axe for you. Come back in a little while.
You got it. Although, actually, I'm gonna need to farm some money before I do that. But I'll get there.
Whoa! What?
So, the triggers still work the same way they used to. Yeah, he reminds me of Sid.
Something's coming!
FF4's Sid, specifically. Alright, let's see how this goes. It's our first actual boss fight. I already like the fact that I can attack at a diagonal, by the way. That is a lot slower and easier to dodge. He also didn't go down with one solid attack. And I could still hit him even though he was in transition phase. That's interesting. Couldn't hit him with the spikes up though. So far, I'm actually kind of with this. It is definitely different. I could probably see why some of the reviewers are like, meh, because this is noticeably different in play than the original. And I literally just fought this boss yesterday. It is a completely different fight from the perspective of the person on the controller. See, do you remember watching me fight this guy yesterday, right? You remember how much faster those... Oh! And the pumpkins will go away after a bit. So they're slower, and they go away after a bit. No, Seiken Densetsu 3 has actually never been released outside of Japan. It's one of the very, 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 very few games to still hold that distinction. Like, over the years, most games have slowly come out, but SD3 still remains on some new. Damn. I can't decide what I think about this. Like, this is better designed, but it's also making it much easier. This is way easier than this should be. I was just wrecking him there. So I can't decide if that's a good thing or a bad thing. I haven't uploaded it yet, Theogor. That's why. Gary,
Thank you very much.
Did you happen to see
Could
that,
have
Gary?
handled those guys myself, you know.
Hey, she's got a mouth.
Hush!
Whatever.
Sorry about that. The shock from getting washed away affected this child's memories. They can't remember anything.
Amnesia.
They're a good child. Just with a few attitude problems.
No, not the
And
explosion.
a loud mouth.
Yeah, well, it'll all work out eventually. Why rush it?
Tropicalo was sealed away in the palace. Since it got out, that must mean there's a way in. If you harness the power of the mana seed, you might even get your memories back, little one.
No, that's not what I was pointing out,
What?
Gary.
Why didn't you say so earlier? I'll go there right now.
You can't go alone. The palace was buried long ago. Who knows how many monsters are infesting that place now? You managed to defeat Tropicalo. Would you be so kind as to accompany this sprite to the palace?
That was at least 5
You managed to defeat Tropicalo. Would you be so kind as to accompany this sprite to the palace?
That was at least 5 different expressions on the sprite's face that I could tell. Like, that's actually weird considering most of the other characters we've seen haven't really had a lot of sprite changes. But maybe the only... This actually would make sense. Maybe the only characters who have significant facial expressions are the 3 main characters. Because almost everyone else we've seen in the close-up cutscenes has been random NPCs. I'm still not saying that's a positive. I'm just saying that would kind of explain why that is. Ow.
What luck! Did you hear that? Now, be sure to listen to everything he says, and don't give him any lip.
Oh, God damn it, Rox, really?
Okie dokie. Just don't get in my way, okay? bro?
Bro? I have a name.
I'm not going to tell you it because it's selectable by the player.
I'll tell you what. How about you give me a name? That'd be easier all around.
What will you call this little sprite? Well, I know exactly what I'm going to call him. Or it, whatever. Sprite! We're getting old school here. Wait, what? No. There, done.
Yeah, sure. I guess that works. Nice to meet you, bro.
Zug Zug.
Ah! Okay, he, god damn it. That's gonna... Oh god, please don't have... Dear Lord of the Internet, please don't let the internet gender politics people descend on me for constantly getting the sprite's gender wrong. Thank you. Amen. Now, okay, they, it, she, he... Yeah! That's gonna be really, really hard to get used to.
Good luck. You can go straight to the palace using that hole over there. But be careful. That witch from the north, Elena, sealed the palace off with a cave of magma. First, you have to go to Elena's castle to ask her to dissolve her seal. You know, she wasn't always like this.
I mean, calling something like Hemoris Mora it is a lot easier. But like Azura, that's a she. Sheogorath, that's a he. Even though that's not technically true. You know what I mean? We actually talked about this.
Elena used to be a good witch. Go north to her castle in Haunted Forest and ask her to open the seal.
Although, it is also worth noting that most of those identify as a gender.
Here is the set of bow and arrows we found when the little one washed up. Take them.
They are crap weapons in the original.
That reminds me. Watts the blacksmith was looking for you. You should stop by his workshop.
Yeah, you'll notice I'm kind of defaulting towards she now. Because, it's mostly because of the voice actress. Anyways, Gary, if you're paying attention, what I meant was the boss fight against Tropicalo. It was a joke. The pumpkins were slower and detonated over time rather than if they got close enough to you. And you could hit Tropicalo even when doing a transition phase, as long as it wasn't in its spike shell. So anyways, if I say she, it's because of the voice actress, okay? I just want to make that clear. It's kind of a default thing. I'm not thinking about it. Please don't jump down my throat about this, please. Okay.
Well, I tried making that axe, but it didn't turn out how I thought it would. I wonder why. What's happened to that boomerang? Wait. Try holding this axe.
That's
Aha!
great, Darkrai.
I can reforge these weapons, but the mana power won't activate unless you hold them. This axe is mighty special. It may be compact, but you can smash a boulder with it. Wanna buy it? Take it with you for 100 GP.
I don't actually have that. Oh, I do have that much. I got that much from the boss. Oh, that's right. The boss gives you 100 plus just to absolutely guarantee that you have it. I actually forgot about that.
There are more mana weapons out there. Bring them here, and I can reforge them using any orbs you find.
I know, Mugen.
Let me show you my special shortcut so you can come here directly.
Yeah, there's a reason I don't even like bringing up gender stuff right now, because it's the current hot button issue. And any hot button issue is something that people will get bent out of shape about, regardless of how good or precise or right or wrong you do things. There's a reason I have my no controversial rule. And have since I was in high school. Yes, you can push NPCs and enemies, if it matters. Oh god, I meant to die against Tropicalo. Let's commit. Let's commit. Let's... Oh yeah, I can dash. Dash.
Yeah.
Death to Neko. So let's see how the AI works. I'm just gonna run through without fighting anyone. Without dashing. Actually, I have two, Gary. So far, she's The sprite is completely ignoring everything else. Which is interesting. Yeah, we're gonna check the AI settings in a second here. But this is the default right here. The AI totally ignores everything unless I'm fighting. You notice she started fighting the moment I did. So let's there we go. So attack the same target. We can also set it to assist or attack enemies not targeted by allies. Let's try. Whoops. God. Buttons. Oh right, it's over here. Let's try setting it to not targeted and see what happens. So she immediately aggroed that guy. Now, if I just run on... Oh my god, I'm not leashed! I'm not leashed! Now, if I run... In the original game, running overrides the AI. Where the hell is... There she is. Wow, I am no longer leashed by that is a gargantuan positive. I'm sorry, that is a positive. No more leashed by party members. That's a huge positive. And I know that sounds like a weird thing to call out as a positive, but anybody who's played the original game knows, even when you're playing with another, you know, with a friend sitting next to you, it is so easy to get stuck. And in fact, it's actually possible in certain cases to soft lock the game if you are in just the wrong situation. Ah, that's how we switch. It's the D-pad, guys. I don't agree. I don't agree. If this was a game that I'd never played the original on, that the original didn't exist and this is a brand new game, I would still give this a positive for the fact that that is a positive thing. And I can give you other examples of games that don't do that right that aren't Psalm. Baldur's Gate. Or Neverwinter Nights, to name another example right off the top of my head. You must gather your party before venturing forth. There's a frickin' reason that's a meme. The ability to not be bound by your nearby party member is a huge thing in a in a party-based game like this in general, in my opinion. Now, I will agree that it wouldn't be as big of a positive. However, it's worth noting I still only gave it 1+ for this. So, now that being said, in a remake, I might actually give this a second positive to equate the fact that that is such an overwhelming improvement over the original. Again, anybody who's played this game long term, I mean, when you get to the underground city, you know, right before you get to the Mana Fortress, you know what I'm talking about, right? That's probably the worst place by far for getting stuck with other party members. Oh my god. There's other examples too, but the sewers going through Northtown and Southtown, right? So... Now, obviously, I have no capacity to have another player here. So I actually can't test that. I'll debate the second plus. I'll see what I think about that. That might be one of those, like, partial pluses. The improvements from the original kind of a concept. Now, one thing I've noticed is the sprite is very specifically positioning itself, yes it is, in order to attack, like, at maximum range with the bow. I wonder if we were to give the sprite, say, the axe, which is actually my default for the sprite. I don't have a second controller. I mean, I guess I could figure out some way to do this with the, whoa. Oh. Some way to do it with the keyboard, I guess, maybe? I don't know. Dashing. Now, I don't know if this deserves a second negative. I actually knew about this going in. Here's the possible negative, okay? Give me a second to kill this thing. Wait. Whoa, what was that? We have officially bugged the game. I don't even know what the hell happened about that. Let's try that again. That was definitely a bug. I don't even know what the hell to make of that. Bug counter, +1. So anyways, now to test what I was testing. Okay, so spear does not get rid of flowers. That's our first glitch. Although, I'm actually amused. The original game was much, much buggier than that. I'm not saying that's a good thing, it's just not surprising. Now, I want to mention one thing really quick. This is more conjecture, but it looks like we'll actually get different models for the weapons as we upgrade them. It'll be interesting to see if that's true as we go. Now, I'm going to do something. Watch this. Now watch this. Now watch this. Now watch this. Can you tell the difference? Because I can't. I'm really debating giving this game a separate negative for this. This is my menu. Here, I'll demonstrate. So there, you see it's on me. This is her menu. See the problem? Remember, I pointed this out in the original Psalm. The menu actually zoomed in on the person whom it was. That has already made it distracting for me. That is not good. I haven't decided if that's a completely deserved negative, but that is not good design. I mean, yikes. Now, the way I got around it earlier was I just used the button here where you can just switch characters like this. But, I think we'll go and put this into the aggregate negative problem, because that's... okay, so I was actually going to do something. Right. AI. Here we go. So, we have not targeted by allies. Let's go with assist. Let's see what that does. I didn't notice that the color was different at all. In fact, I have a really hard time even telling, even though you pointed it out. That's probably my own color blindness, though. At least some of those are pretty easy to patch, Mugen. So I would say at least decent possibility of that getting patched. Right. Oh yeah, by the way, can I just say, I know this is going to sound like a weird thing, but the ability to attack it as a diagonal is a huge game changer for the tactics of this game, and that may sound like a joke, but once again, anybody who's played this game knows I'm not kidding when I say that. Oh jeez, she's already dead. She got one shot. That was quick. You notice, so, remember I made all that discussion about the stacking in this game and how you could, like, stack actions to try and bypass death and whatnot? It looks like that's not even a thing. Because she just died instantly there. Let me get my sword back real quick. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. We were literally glitching the game to get an advantage. I'm just pointing it out.
Meow. What a strange place to bump into each other. Brrr. Do you need anything?
But yeah, I would say PC because A, the possibility of patches is higher and more likely, and B, the possibility of modding exists. some of these issues could actually
Special
be...
deal for busy travelers. I'll even save the game from you.
It is within the realm of possibility to mod this game to fix some of this thing, so... Yeah, the game is much faster overall.
Anything be seen?
Christ, don't die. Oh my god! And she's dead. Wow. Okay. If I hadn't got that gear upgrade to increase my evasion, I'd be dead too right now. Oh, I do notice, by the way, they've kept the stages of knockback/stun, where they can just be like, ugh, for a second, or ugh, and actually fall over. Whatever, let's fight the werewolves. Werewolves! God, I used to die on these fights so easily. First time I played this game ever, these guys just absolutely destroyed me. Then I tried for, God, like half an hour to kill these guys. Which I'm pointing out because, they're dead.
Perfect timing. You're not a bad swordsman. Here, come with me.
Huh? What do you mean? Where are we going?
Don't be silly. We're rescuing Dialog from the witch's castle, of course.
What do you mean, we?
Oh, so you're gonna let the person you just saved go and fight a witch on her own? Come on, stop wasting my time. We've got a job to do. Whatever your name is.
What's your name?
Oh, you can call me.
You can call her... Yep, sure, whatever.
Sure, let's go with that.
So yeah, I think that pretty much proves how much easier this is than the original, because holy crap. I have one person dead, and one person not really leveled. And I just kind of crushed those werewolves. Okay, I know what I'm gonna do. Ah, buttons.
Yeah. Yeah.
Give me a minute. Right. I gotta do that first.
Yeah.
Yeah, she comes default with that. So it looks like she targets whatever I'm targeting. But what I really want to see is it looks like she might target stuff that hits me too. No? Come on, hit me. Actually hit me. I'd have to play the whole game, Marian. Hello, Cadet.
Try to stop me. No, not this.
Well, now she's dead, so I can't test that. Whatever. You guys can't kill me, so I'm gonna move on. So do you want me to call you Cadet White Swan or Cadet White Swan? Because I can do both. I'm cool with that. I'm cool with... Oh god, these freaking things. Nope. Don't feel like getting stun locked. Okay, objectively speaking, I can't say that lowering a game's difficulty is a bad thing. It's also worth noting that if we really look at SOM, most of the difficulty of that game is not proper difficulty, it's game design issue difficulty. You know, it's nest difficulty, where the difficulty is because you can't quite tell where the enemy's hitting, or because you're having issues trying to successfully land an attack because the enemy's literally invincible, or because of the fact that the enemies respawn the moment you inch too far to the side, or, you know, stuff like that, right? In other words, it's hard for me to objectively say that lower difficulty is a bad thing. Especially since almost everything that's made this game easier has been a function of polishing the game. Basically making the game better by standards of game design. I didn't see any difficulty option. Here's where I was trying to reach. Psalm was a cakewalk the moment you got magic. Although it's worth noting that's only if you know what you're doing. If you do a melee-only playthrough of Psalm, you will get destroyed. Yeah, it does kind of look like Link Between Worlds, although less fake. If you don't know what I mean by that, Link Between Worlds used, basically cheated with its design in order to make it look like LTTP more. But if you were to look at the camera from a different angle, you could see everything's kind of slanted. So... basically, yes, Shadow Machine. So I'm really having a hard time saying if this game is better or worse for, you know, being better designed, and as a consequence, being easier. You're seeing, by the way, the difference gear makes. I actually mentioned this yesterday.
I'm finished.
Gear makes an absolutely huge difference in your stats. Like, that's true in the original game as well. It's kind of ludicrous. So, we're dead. But there's an autosave in the screen transition. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. I'm with that. I'm thinking that's a positive. For the same reason I would give it to Oblivion if I was rating Oblivion right now. Because Oblivion has screen transition, travel, or rest autosave. So yeah, I'm giving that a plus. Screen transition autosave. That's a plus. Boop. I'm actually one below. We actually have 5 positives. My bad. Yeah. Ease of use does make the game easier. No, not yet, Pax, if you're listening to me right now. But you can. It's right there. Whoops. Hang on. God damn it, this frickin' menu. This is such a consistent problem. You can do it right here. Listen. For those of you who are joining us late or who are PAX who are just now messaging me, as you see, you can go to the original music right there. I'm leaving it on the remake because I want to hear all the remake soundtrack, and there's plenty more songs in the future. The menu is such an issue. The fact that I can't rebind, or that the menu doesn't follow the rebinding, is been throwing me constantly. If you ever see me fiddling with the menu, that's exactly what's happening. So, anyways, title screen. So now we're going to do this the right way. Which means we're going to go back here. And yes, I will definitely consider giving a plus to the vignettes in the inns are probably going to be 2 pluses in total honesty. Let me explain a little bit. One of those pluses... Yes, I'm going the right way. One of those pluses will be for the vignettes themselves and the additional story and character stuff they add. For the same reason, like a Tales of game would get a plus for that. Hi, Braglin. The second plus is for the fact that it adds so much to the original. Those vignettes are the closest thing I've seen in terms of story that make this a proper remake. It just crashed. The game just crashed. Why do I always find these bugs? What the hell? Here I am praising the game, and then it literally crashes as I'm praising it. Come on, game. Work with me. I suppose we can test something else while we're here. Because I have a feeling that autosave is gone. I'm wrong. The autosave is actually still there, even with the crash. That's good. So let me explain really quick. There are a couple of Square Enix games that have come out. FF3DS is the only one I know off the top of my head, where the autosave goes away after the game shuts down, which is just stupid. There's like no reason to do that. But as you can see, the autosave is right friggin' here. Look, I'm back on the screen I was just on. I didn't see any difficulty settings, no. And I've checked the menu a few times in both the game and at the title. So yeah, that is legitimate. It's actually funny, I wanted to test exactly that, so I'm kind of happy it crashed there. I hope it doesn't crash again. Because, like I said, I've seen them do, you know, just autosave in its own right isn't necessarily a positive, and I was willing to take away that positive if it was, you know, bad autosave. Level 4 should be enough for what I need to do. I keep forgetting I can just dash in this game now. I am so tempted to give that dash a plus. I'm really tempted, I really am. The only problem is that dash is mostly a plus with regards to the original game. I mean, dashing in any game is a decent thing. You know, reduced travel time is a good thing. But that is such an overwhelmingly positive thing from the original song, which again kind of leans it into that proper remake territory. So the combat being much more precise and easy to use. This is neat, by the way. I wanted to mention this earlier. You can see. The vignette things. Like I said, we're probably going to give this game an overall positive for being a decent remake.
Something evil lives in the ruins in the south.
So yeah, let's kind of hang on. Let me actually jot that down in like the aggregates. So dash is a significant improvement. Better and more no, I do not, Ventures. Better and more precise. Here, let's actually do this. Better and more precise combat. And I think that's it, other than the vignettes thing, which is very likely going to be a story positive. So, vignettes and what they add to character and story. Vignettes themselves are a significant addition. So we've got the vignettes themselves are probably going to get a positive, and then I've got like a potential story positive for this being a proper remake. That'll probably be an aggregate, and then we've got the two things for the aggregate for the gameplay side of this being a proper remake. It's kind of interesting. Oh.
My dad is infuriating. I'm in charge of my life, not him.
As I mentioned earlier, she's actually nobility.
Oh, right. You're that dummy I saved earlier. Sorry about before. Huh. Is that a sword? I didn't know you were a swordsman.
Oh, yeah.
What, this? No, I'm actually...
This is perfect. Now's your chance to pay me back for saving you. I need your help. We need to teach that witch a lesson. We're going to save Dialogue.
But I have to go to the underground palace.
Save that for later. Come on, let's go. Whatever your name is.
What's your name?
Oh, you can call me...
Since this is our canon playthrough, we will be calling her Girl. Because I'm old-fashioned.
Sure, let's go with that.
So, Renegade, most of the negatives so far... what I was about to say before that cutscene. Most of the negatives could be patched pretty easily, if you think about it. Like, the memory cursor thing, that might be difficult. The key binding things, that is very easily patchable, and I could prove that because... as soon as I find the binding it is. There we go. Give me a second. Because basically the option to do the menu thing the way I want it to is already here. It's just keyboard only. So, again, they could patch this to basically make that apply to that. That's all it would take. That's a really easy thing to patch. So that is actually likely to be fixed, either by players or by a div patch. The memory cursor, pretty easy to patch. And the online support, that's going to be trickier. I will admit that's going to be something that might not get fixed. But that would get rid of 2 of our negatives so far. If players do it, it won't get the positive back. If they do it, it will get, or excuse me, it won't get the negative back. But if they do it, they will get the negative back. Hey, Gemma.
You're here. I suppose you've seen the state of the townspeople, yes?
Oh, yeah.
The witch Elene appears to be draining people's life energy for some unknown purpose. Once their energy is spent,
hey, Rusty,
the people seem to congregate near the ruins in the southern part of town. I'm heading there now to assess the situation. You should go to Gaia's navel as fast as possible.
Hey, Five Sky. Yeah, exactly, Rox. So the online thing, let's be honest, that's probably not going to get fixed, and that's just going to be a definitive negative.
You say you were expelled from your village? Unfortunately, this realm has problems of its own. It would be best if you took your leave of this country as soon as you can.
What a nightmare. My people are acting like zombies, and I have no idea when the Empire might strike. My scouts say the troops I sent to fight the witch at Elmin's suggestion were soundly defeated.
What? You mean my dad is the reason Diluc was ordered to attack the witch's castle? This whole mess was a cowardly plot to drive Diluc and me apart!
That wasn't in the English version.
Watch your tongue.
You want to silence me? Fine, let's go.
Like, there was bits of that, but that dialogue was super unclear in the original English version. Now, obviously, in the original Japanese version, that was the whole point. Her dad, the noble, sent off Diluc, a common soldier, so that he would die, and that his daughter, would no longer be capable of going out with him.
This was such a peaceful country until now. What is the world coming to?
That's like the 5th or so. I'm kind of losing track of the points at which they're adding in or better, basically doing a lot better of a translation of the dialogue. Which, let me just say really quick, can I just say that's a huge relief to me? Anybody who knows me knows I know Psalm really well. And when we got our first few tidbits of the Psalm remake back at, I think, E3 last year, I actually sat down, anyone in my Discord can verify this, I actually sat down and started going through Psalm on the SNES and literally writing down word for word the dialogue, and then going through writing down word for word the dialogue from the remake footage that we had. And the dialogue was so similar, I was just like that was making me worried, you know? So it's nice to see that they are actually putting effort into this.
You may not enter.
Oh, by the way, a good, proper translation would probably be another part of the remake aggregate under story.
You may not enter.
The Republic of Taznica is our ally, and its citizens are friends.
Which is funny, you don't even have a port.
The Republic of Taznica is our ally, and its citizens are friends.
Okay, that's kind of cool in its own weird way. Aw. I suppose we'll talk to her dad really quick. He's not actually here. Wow, weird. Okay. Oh, right, because, yeah. So there's actually a couple of ways to keep her, but we're just going to do the standard way, which is go to the forest, and then leave the forest, and then basically retrace the stuff we just did. Oh, speaking of which, what's her color? Pink, apparently. So let's give her the spear for now. Oh yeah, let's set up her AI, shall we? This one. So let's set her to assist. I'm curious what that third option will be. Oh, it'll probably be assist the other person. What do you want to bet? It's actually funny, I just realized I have no idea if the AI settings here affect stats at all. Oh god, you're right, it is still listed as Randy in the options there. That's funny. It did, Roximus, but as you point out, FF4's script was hugely different. Like, to a point where it was practically a new script in some cases. in a good way. So I'm noticing now with 2 people, it looks like there are actually iframes for the enemies. It's just they're much reduced from what they used to be. And looks like we can no longer dash charge, but that's okay. That was never really a good thing. Uh-oh, what happened, Fellow Bear? Did you destroy everything again? What did I tell you about destroying everything, Fellow Bear? So we're gonna Korean method it for a little bit, because I do want my party members to not die the moment we hit the forest. And what I'm probably gonna do here is, after we get caught up, I'm gonna go ahead and take that lunch break. That celebratory lunch break I talked about with my sister. And then we'll be back and do more of this. Who's down? You know what, can I just say something really quick? As someone who has started doing a lot more reviews thanks to the premiere runs for the past couple of years. I hate it when people compare me to other reviewers. Now, if I can explain what I mean by that really quick. Pretend for a moment that all the other video game sites were like, oh, the Somm remake's amazing. Now, no matter what I say is wrong. Because if I like it, I'm either just going along with what they're saying, or I'm not really thinking about it myself. I'm just aping the popular opinion. Or, if I go against what they're saying, I'm just trying to be different, and I'm, you know, oh my god, you're just trying to be contrary. I've actually literally been accused of being, like, a complete slave to, pendulum effect, to the point where I can't even make my own opinions before. And that actually irritates me. It's the same thing here. Whether I am positive or negative on this review, the fact that virtually every other reviewer has been negative on it means that no matter what, people are going to just be like, oh, you're just nostalgic, or oh, you're just trying to be too positive toward it, or oh, you're just trying to be too negative for it, or oh, you're just trying to find problems with it. And I hate that crap. It irritates the crap out of me. Go away. You don't exist now. God damn it. I'm predicting right now I'm gonna die at some point in this game because I need to use an item very quickly and the menu's gonna throw me. Who wants to bet? Like, we're fighting easy stuff right now. We're nowhere near the difficult stuff. I think I'm gonna add to the gameplay remake aggregate positive the lack of respawns. Because that is actually increasing my enjoyment of this game. So... there we go. I already gave the plus for the yeah, I already gave the plus for the leashing. Okay, we're good. Yep, there we go. Yep, Roximus, what's your review of this game? Quick, so I can say exactly what you said and not have to do my own review really quick. So let me explain what the problem is with the menus. I'm gonna hit right. Okay. Now I'm gonna hit right. Now, hang on. Now I'm going to hit A, which is supposed to be confirm. See, this is confirm. I have rebound this controller so that A is confirm. And yet when I hit, the moment I go to menu, it reverts to default where B is confirm and A is cancel. I could try to get used to just completely readjusting the way I think of this game and try to go with the default menu controls for this, but and that might help. But I would stand by my statement that the negative is deserved for when the negative is deserved for the nature of the fact that these key bindings are different. Because here, this is this button right here. There's that button. See? Now I'm going to hit that button here. I'm thinking I'm probably going to give this game a plus to the graphics, because overall I actually do like it. I think they do a good job with it. In fact, one thing I noticed on this room especially, this might go into the remake aggregate. Do you see how much space I have to move on this exact spot here? Anybody who's played this game probably remembers this area and might remember this exact spot, because in this SNES game, there's basically one corridor, one tile of movement. You can go straight up and down here, and then like 2 other tiles here on the side, and that's it. Very, very narrow corridor. And I've noticed this the whole time. There's actually quite a few areas where you have a lot more movement. They basically pushed out the terrain a bit. So it's the same layout, but it's a lot roomier, and therefore a lot less cloistered, a lot harder to get stuck, etc., etc. So yeah, I'm thinking I will put that under the aggregate. Because in addition to the fact that it's nicer feeling, it also probably adds to the not getting stuck thing. That you'll notice we have had no problems at all with anybody getting even close to stuck, even though we've been playing with a party member for a bit now. And I know what you're saying. You've only been playing with a party member for like 30 minutes. Trust me, if you've played this game, you know how easy it is for them to get stuck. In fact, if you'll notice, they're basically glued to me when they're not in combat. Oh yeah, there was also a respawning flower in that corridor. Thank you for reminding me about that. I think I will add that to the aggregate. So, God, how many minor points equals up to a major positive? Because we're already up to several in the aggregate here. So, right. Increased size of terrain in general. Never, Tesla. Yeah, the map, which is toggleable, by the way. 3's not a bad idea, because right now we've got the dash is a significant improvement over the original. The combat, especially as a diagonal, is a significant improvement over the original. It's far more precise and far more, you know, the hit. Oh, I should put it. And regarding hit and hurt boxes, because that's also very relevant. So there's those two. Then there's the respawning enemies, and then there's the increased size of terrain. We're up to 4 of the aggregate so far. God, I'm gonna have to. I've never had this many aggregate pluses.
Take
before.
more than that.
Okay, I need to be careful here. Oh, I know. I would be totally down for this for Chrono Trigger. I mean, we arguably got a Chrono Trigger proper remake on the DS because they did do a lot to change and add to that game. But imagine, guys. That's true. That's true. This is the first time I've really done a proper remake. Premiere run. Ooh, there. No. Come here, girl. Okay, she knew how to get out of there quickly.
Thanks.
Welcome. Could someone go stab Eingrad for being wrong?
Try to stop me.
And she's dead. Jesus Christ. Alright, I'm just gonna run. Okay, hopefully this will still trigger, even though she's dead.
We need something sharp, like an axe. Otherwise, we'll never get through.
There's supposed to be a dwarf blacksmith in Gaia's navel. He's probably got some good weapons. Fine, we can go to Gaia's navel first.
There you go. And there you go. We can now officially keep her when we go to Gaia's navel. So let's get the hell out of here. Quickly,
take more than that.
Quickly. I don't know if this is qualified as a proper remake yet or not. I'm still holding off on that judgment. You guys know me. I'm pretty strict on what a proper remake requires.
Did you come from Gaia's navel? But that place is chock full of monsters. I saw some kid get swept away by floodwaters. By now, there's probably no hope for them.
I only agree with 10 on that list, Tesla.
Hey, no ghosts allowed.
Right. I actually forgot about that. It's okay. Theoretically, it's saving each time I screen transition, so let's just go. Hey, there's the flower we were referencing earlier. But I do agree with one thing about that Max Time probably unintentionally brought up. For me, for a RPG, for any significant story game to be considered a proper remake, it must have a significant change to its story. That being said...
One night is 10G.
We do have one thing that is significantly different to the story in this game. These.
Hey, I'm sorry you had to see my dad and me get into a fight. Not my best moment. Though, now that I think about it, I've seen you look pretty lame yourself.
What do you mean?
Remember when those goblins were gonna slice you up and eat you for dinner? They took you down so easily.
Hey, I was ambushed, okay?
Oh, yes, I'm sure. Because a real swordsman would never be caught off guard by a simple goblin. Don't worry, I'll keep your secret. But in return, you have to help me. I'm counting on you.
Look, I already told you that I need to get to the underground palace.
And I told you this is a matter of life and death. We need to stop the witch in the north. Who knows what she might have done to Dialog and his men?
Well, she made him kind of go blurry, and she allowed Thanatos to rip out their souls, so...
Well, when you put it that way...
If you won't go with me, I won't waste my time looking for your silly palace. You want to split ways here?
No, it's okay. I already worked this out.
You were the one who decided to join me in the first place.
Quit splitting hairs.
So yeah, the noticeably polished script. I've been pointing out each instance because I know the script very, very well. The noticeably improved script and the addition of the vignettes, that does make me inclined to say that this might actually qualify as proper remake. Now, I'm not going to judge that now. I will not judge a proper remake until I'm much, much further into the game. But as of right now, if you put a gun to my head, I would be at least willing to qualify this as a proper remake, based on what we've seen so far.
This is Kipo Village.
That's how you pronounce that?
Stop by Dad's store later, okay?
Yeah, Marl's not a tsundere.
To the north is a cave called Gaia's Navel where the dwarfs live.
Or Marley, if you prefer. I've also heard Marley. I prefer Marl, myself.
My son Dialog always says he's too busy to visit, even though he practically lives next door.
It's because he's embarrassed by you.
I heard how rough life is in the nearby kingdom, but it's nice and laid back here.
Yeah, Luca's awesome. Of the playable characters, Luca's either my favorite or very close to my favorite in Chrono Trigger. By the way, Luca, Lucca, and Laka are the three I've heard for that one. I've heard several people say Lucca, but Luca is the one I actually hear most people say, so I'm willing to go with that. Well, Magus is obviously better than Frog, right, guys? Right? I have to admit, I am actually super biased towards Magus for reasons that some of my viewers will understand. I mean, how often do you play... Well, I'm not going to say it. Now, Isla is probably one of the harder ones. I myself, anybody who knows me knows I have trouble pronouncing A's. So, I have a really hard time with Isla's name. I've heard, like, a bunch of different pronunciations for her name. I even vary myself sometimes, because I can't keep it distinct.
Thanks!
It's actually weird. Most of Isla's significant character scenes are good, but she only gets like 3 of them total. That's the problem. The scene with her and Kino, when you first go back to 65 million BC, that's awesome. She's actually a pretty good character to bring to Marl's quest in the post game, or the late game, I guess I should say. Oops. So that noise is something that is probably a bug. It's the noise that plays every time the enemy does an attack swing. But the enemies are doing attack swings even when I'm nowhere near them. So when there's a whole bunch of enemies spawned... Yeah, I need to figure out this shortcutting thing. Yeah, let's figure that out, because you mentioned that earlier, Guru. So now you notice with all the enemies down, the noise has stopped. Yes, I actually specifically rearranged my entire Rumination schedule to accommodate this, Tesla. So, let's see. Oh, there it is. It's right there. Assign shortcuts. Okay, hang on. So it looks like I have 2 shortcuts. So, that's pretty cool. So I can just be like, oh crap, I need to use a candy! And then you'll notice it doesn't just select the candy, it actually already is at the point where I can use the candy. Can I do that with weapons? Whoops, hang on. Let's... So, oh god, I need to use the sword! Now I need to use the knuckles! Now I need to use the sword! That's pretty cool. I mean, only having 2 shortcuts is... but having shortcuts at all is kind of nice. That might... I think I'm going to add that to the aggregate gameplay positive. Shoulder... But... I'm going to leave that in the theoretical right now. That might slot onto its own gameplay positive regardless of the remake. Actually, you know what? No. I'm just sitting here debating it in my head here. I think I'm going to go ahead and just make that a positive. Shoulder, buttons, shortcuts. Select editable shortcuts. Now let me explain why that's the definitive positive rather than just a remake positive. Because in my opinion, that's good regardless of the game. It's the Mega Man X thing. You know what I'm talking about. A lot of you do, I know. Having the ability to just be like, and switch between things or immediately switch to a thing is extremely helpful and useful, especially for people who tend to get in the moment and like to be able to react like that rather than, hang on. Let's do this, put this over here, put this there, you know. I could give another example for this right off the top of my head, Kingdom Hearts. Even the original Kingdom Hearts allowed you to do it, I think it's L, where you hold down L1, and then you can bind your 4 primary buttons to a customizable either item or spell. So, I mean, I don't know about you guys, I usually have like a few standards. So, example, L triangle is automatically cure, right? So, done, right? So I think, regardless of the original Psalm, the addition and usage of shortcuts is a definitive positive. And yeah, there's no story stuff yet, because we just haven't seen that much yet. I'm extremely likely to give this game 2 positive to story. And I haven't seen anything that strikes me as a negative yet. So I'm actually going to shortcut this there. You know the other reason this is awesome? It just occurred to me. This is a game in which you need a bladed weapon, so sword or axe, the whip, and... oh, I feel like there's another one. There's basically... keeping certain weapons on for certain puzzles or certain overworld interactions is a good thing in this game. And so being able to, for example, have like the whip on shortcut just to be able to quickly switch, or actually what I'd probably do is I'd have like the sword on shortcut so then I can menu back to the whip and then immediately switch back to the sword, you know, just that's right, the axe is the other big one for rocks and stuff. So yeah, axe, sword, whip. Usually I just let the sprite have the whip and just live with that, even though the whip is a terrible weapon. But this, with the shortcuts menu, I don't necessarily have to do that. is what I'm trying to say. So, right. I mean, honestly, okay, so guys, help me, the 3DS ones, yes, and the Wii U ones, yes, Tesla, that is correct. I'm actually going to push the Zelda lore run, pseudo-lore run back a little bit, specifically because the possibility of some of those coming out on the Switch is not insignificant. And as a consequence, I would kind of like to play those on the Switch if I can, especially since it's much, much easier to stream from the Switch. So, also the Zelda pseudo-lore run's going to be gargantuan, so... No, I actually forgot to test the bow, so we'll have to test it this time. See if it's any good. Anyways, now, we need to decide something, guys. This is, if I'm not mistaken, I think Roxamus is correct. I think this is actually the first game I've ever done a premiere run of that is a, well, it is at least in the running for a proper remake. The only other one that was ever even... Oh crap, balloon! No! The only one that was ever even possible as a proper remake was Romancing Saga 2, and we all know what happened with that. So... we need to decide how many positives and negatives of a... that are specifically a thing that is improved from the original deserve a separate positive. Aw, come on. Cool. Yeah, I've heard several people nominate three aggregate to equal up to a plus. Oh, that's true. We did Metroid Samus Returns, but that was such an amazing game and just in general. Oh, I'm playing this to completion, Gary, absolutely. But I'm also going to quit for lunch very soon here, and then I'll be back to play some more. Then you can get caught up. AI. That's AI. There, they're both set to assist now, so we should do more. I'll be talking about Black Panther in 2 Sundays, Tesla. We've discontinued the discussion streams for many reasons, but we've kind of decided to kind of have like a mini discussion stream at the end of Lore Week. So we will be doing that at the end of the 25th Lore Week. Yes, Tigzar, regarding lore runs. Every lore run that's currently on the schedule, which is pretty much a year's worth, is approved and funded. As you can see on my website. Website.
Okay.
I told you you'd get ahead of me. Of course, I've also been experimenting and trying out stuff and replaying part of the game. Okay. One moment. I don't remember. Hang on. Give me a second. I gotta look at Samus Returns. Because I don't think I gave a lot of, positives because they were better in Samus Returns. Most of them were just positives because Samus Returns was an amazingly built game. Yeah, we're already in No Man on Black Panther. That is definitive. I shouldn't even have to... I should not have to say that. If I could just be bold. I shouldn't have to say we're in No Man status on Black Panther. Can you give me like 20 minutes or so? Question mark. Like, in my opinion, we are so definitively in... Like, that's a duh, right? It'll be the same thing when Infinity War comes out. We will automatically be on No Man status. Yeah, see, Metroid Samus Returns was, like Roxamus says, it was a proper remake, but it almost didn't feel like one. It almost felt like a completely new game. Yeah, I'm seeing it Sunday myself, Gary. Samus Returns was awesome. I'm sorry. I highly recommend that game. If that game comes out on Switch, I will buy it again. I mean it without hesitation. I will buy that again. It was a really good game. Well, I hope you like it, Rox. The only thing I know is what all the reviewers have said max time, which is basically just noise. It auto-ported, like in the original.
Okay.
When I go through the Metroid pseudo low run, I will actually be playing AM2R for that. I gotta be honest, Dakota, I haven't really been noticing it, but I will point out, this game does something wrong in my opinion, and this isn't the only game to do that. I'm not sure if it deserves a full negative, it might deserve an aggregate negative. Here, I'll try to demonstrate. Come on, knock me over. Or die. When you get knocked over, and then you get back up, they say a clip. However, they only have the one clip each, and they say it each time, near as I can tell, that they get knocked down and then get back up. And that is irritating. I do not care for that. Now, it hasn't been a huge issue yet. But, like, earlier I was getting chain knockdowns, so it's like, ugh, I'm getting up, ugh, I'm getting up, ugh, I'm getting up. Yeah, I think I'm literally just mentally blanking those out, Dakota. As a point of testing, god damn it, no, I don't want to use this candy, I want to do this. I'm going to turn off the sound effects entirely. Okay, so it is part of the voice acting channel. Which is a shame, because there's no way in hell I'm muting that. Although this game sounds weird on mute. Yes, I have, Tesla. It's a dumb rumor. I can't believe how many people have brought up that rumor. I will actually have to talk about it during lore week just because people keep bringing it up. This is the Kingdom Hearts version of this game right here. If you want the short version, Tesla, it's probably not true. Let's just go ahead and get that out of the way. So I've already talked to everyone here, and I've already done everything here, so we're just going to kind of zip through here real quick. Short question. Yeah. Yeah, you want my super quick? Yeah, I'd say this is worth picking up right now. But reminder, I'm not that far into this. You know, maybe that's why StarCraft is one of my favorite settings. Yeah, I'll go over my reasoning in full during lore week, because I already have, as Darkrai has already pointed out.
Step right.
So did I mention you could just blaze through cutscenes too? Whoops. Right. That. So did I mention that that menu problem also affects shops? I don't know if this game is worth $40 right now.
Step right.
That I'm gonna have to get a lot further into this to decide that. There's a lot of weird little bugs and flaws with it. If every issue I had with it, including the online multiplayer, was fixed, I would say it's worth the $40 asking price. That's also assuming the other quality is high throughout the course of this game. Also, if this game comes out on the Switch, there's an extremely high chance I will buy this game. Because the portability and the customizability and the comfort for my old man hands and my old man back for the Switch is absolutely enormous.
How'd you like my act?
Don't. Please.
What's funny is you can actually skip through dialogue faster than in the original.
I am.
I just find that funny. Well, that's a whole other topic, Tesla. And also doesn't apply to all AAA games. See Witcher 3 for an example of a game that is totally worth $60.
One night is fit.
Yep. As expected, no new cutscene, because we haven't really pushed forward the story. Yes, Raskor. There's the really super short answer. Yes. So let's get a quick save in here. It depends on... See, I would say it depends on the individual game. Battlefront 2 EA should have been free, if they're going to go with that method. That's a bad example, though. Shadow of War, I would go ahead and say that's worth the money.
Welcome.
But, I'm trying to think of an example of a AAA game that I think isn't crap, but should be free. And that, based on the way it does transactions. I'm actually struggling to come up with one here.
Anything else? Come again.
I think I do, Guru. I mean, I pre-ordered this game back in, like, August. That's gonna be here. Here you go, guys. Sexy edition, just for you. Behold! Isla is now in Secret of Mana. Oh, Overwatch, that's a good example. Overwatch should be free. There's a good one. And I agree with that. Of course, I've thought that before. I'm turning that off. Okay, so... Ah! There we go. I think Overwatch is a good game. But anybody who knows me knows that's pretty much the bottom end of positivity.
Say, I am... Oh!
God damn it.
Change your mind. Oh! Change your mind. All right.
It's purely cosmetic, Tesla. Hey, Sean. Anyways, if Overwatch had proper single-player campaign or proper co-op campaign, which would be the absolute ideal for me, or had, more variety in map modes, that would push Overwatch up significantly for me. So, I do think the core gameplay of Overwatch is well designed, well polished, in my opinion.
Something's coming!
Yeah, the visuals, the sound design, the actual smoothness of the gameplay itself, and the variety of the gameplay itself, that's all good. But it's like, there's not much to do with it. You know what I mean? See you around, Veldrin. Hope you enjoy it. But if you do, don't tell me, because I don't want to hear about it. Yeah, that's true. If there is one thing Blizzard does, it is polished. So I noticed he can get stuck here, trying to attack something he can't attack. No. That. But I don't have a ranged weapon yet, so I can't actually fix that. Okay, dude. Kind of Tigzar, but basically no. Yeah, exactly, Plate Smasher. Like I said, that for me would be the top ideal. If they have a true, proper co-op campaign mode, that would push Overwatch from a good game to a freaking amazing game for me in one fell swoop. And I know they're not going to do that. I mean, why would they, right? They're making tons of money on Overwatch, and they're really pushing into the competitive market right now. And it's not in my hair. Sadness. I'm gonna have to see the AI on future fights to judge if that deserves a negative or not. Because you notice he was having a little trouble getting stuck.
Thank you very much.
I could have handled those guys myself,
So you can skip cutscenes, because skippable cutscenes should be in every game ever. Whoops.
You can't mean that.
Okay, fine, I'll take.
What?
Okay, sis.
That's not my name.
Oh my god, she's saying... The sprite is saying something different if you talk to her, it, as girl. That's kinda cool. I don't think it did that in the original.
I'll tell you what. How about you give me a name? That'd be easier all around.
I mean, it was little, but that's kinda cool that it did that. Of course, we all know what Popoy's name really is. Hello? There we go. There we go. There is only one name for the sprite.
Yeah, sure. I guess that works. Bro, sis.
I don't know what that is, Tessa, so I'm afraid I got none for you.
Good luck. You can go straight to the palace, but be careful. First, you have... Eleni used to be a...
No, apparently
Here is
I was
the
alt-tabbed out of the game, is what was happening there. So, if anybody was watching my document over there for a second, you'll notice I was typing Sprite over there for a bit. I fixed it. Okay, so... let's give you the bow. Let's switch to you. Giant hair.
Well, I tried making that ad.
Yeah, I already did this.
Aha! There's that one up. Let me.
Which one? Damn it! There's a. Could someone link Sean the document? There's a reason I keep this damn document. Friggin' fraggin' faruggin'. No, I'm gonna sleep because I'm gonna go ahead and break for lunch now. I think it's the hair that makes the sprite look so much bigger here. I mean, her hair is, like, bigger than the rest of her entire body there, so... So let's go hit the inn. Let's see if there's any new vignettes. Okay, can I admit something? I know some of you agree with me on this. How many of you, when you're playing any given RPG, live for those little side story moments? Like, in FF4DS, how many of you constantly checked the menu to see if there was new thought bubbles? How many of you in the later Dragon Quest games constantly hit the talk to party members button to see what they had to say? How many of you in Mass Effect would constantly go around and talk to people to see if they had anything new to add? I love that stuff. I've loved that stuff since I was young. I'm not even sure I remember the first time that was in a game, but I just gave you 3 examples right there.
One night is 15 G.
So we should have a new... Yep, we have a new cutscene. Speaking of which...
Wow, that Watts is the best blacksmith I've ever seen. He's made my rusty sword shine like it's brand new. With a sword like this at my side, everyone can tell that I'm a knight who means business. I know. I'll try it out with a few practice swings.
It figures.
What's your problem?
So immature. A rust-free sword doesn't make you a knight. You'll never be a warrior like Diluc without training.
That's why I'm practicing.
That wasn't practice. That was posing. You just wanted to look cool holding that sword.
No, I didn't.
The truth hurts.
Fine. No more sword practice today or any day. Happy now?
Oops. I didn't realize I touched a nerve.
You did not.
Like I said, you're so immature.
What's funny is these two have no romantic connotations in the original at all. I mentioned that because I wonder if they're going to change that in this version. The sprite is literally sleeping on her hair. That's awesome. I hope they don't too. One of the things I liked about the base game is there's actually no romance story other than the girl and dialogue. And I mean, that's fine. Yeah, exactly, Roximus. I really hope they don't go that route. I mean, not to spoil Sam, but that relationship between her and Diluc goes the entire duration of the game. Like, there's no, oh, I've moved on, but now I'll move, you know, you will be there to comfort me, unless you count the last 5 minutes of the game. Anyways, as I mentioned earlier, I'm gonna go break for lunch and have a celebratory lunch with my sis. And then I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna play more Sam. Can I just say something real quick? Anybody who knows me knows when I was getting prepped for this, like as of last year, like months and months ago, I wasn't excited for this. I was like, it's just gonna be a bad port, or it's gonna be a lazy port, or it's gonna be blah. And then I played Romancing Saga 2, and that was just, that was just soul crushing. And then I found out about the developers of this game, who, as I pointed out, did a really bad port of, Seiken Densetsu 1. And Fear. I can't even hear it. Okay, it looks like it's gone now. I don't have any of my headbuds in. Fear. Thank you very much, Sweet Tater Skins. As ever, I don't ask for those, but I still appreciate them. But yeah, I kind of figured this would be Romancing Saga again. I figured this would be disappointing. I figured this would be... I'm enjoying this. Like, this has been legitimately better than I have seen thus far. And that's kind of like a relief so far. I really hope it continues going forward. And I just wanted to share that really quick before I chop off. Anyways, I'll see you guys in like an hour or whatever.